social media is more damaging, I would say, psychologically than cigarettes and alcohol, at the very least combined. The amount of psychological damage that social media does and has done in this day and age with people is just incredible. The amount of distractions we have via Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, even YouTube, even though I'm guilty of using YouTube, of course, because I'm a YouTuber. I upload because I want to upload to you guys, and also my channel is monetized and I do make money from this, yes, but the amount of people that are addicted to social media it's just staggering. I mean, it used to be where, I remember when social media was just coming out, okay, back in, I want to say one of the first ones was, because I'm that old, one of the first ones was MySpace, right? MySpace. I don't know if anybody who's 30 plus will probably remember MySpace. They had the whole emo group using it. Many people used MySpace in high school, especially the jocks, the emos, all the stereotypical people used MySpace to upload, their videos and their stories and things like that, just like their daily or even random events, right? MySpace was the big thing, right? So people used MySpace for a long time. Then one came after that. Well, YouTube came after that, right? 2005, YouTube came out, and everybody started uploading their videos. Now, YouTube was pretty free. You were pretty free to upload anything back then on YouTube, and it was just a fun little thing. You'd go inside, you'd have a regular camera, because obviously there weren't any smartphones back then. You'd have a regular old camera, digital camera. People don't really buy those anymore, but for any of my Gen Alpha viewers that are watching, a digital camera used to be a thing where it was a lot larger than a smartphone. You used it to record. You used it to record your moments. Same with a Polaroid. You use Polaroids to record your moments. Well, in this case with the videos, you'd use digital cameras, And before that, you had regular cameras. You had even older cameras that didn't record in 720p. They didn't record in 1020 and 1080, excuse me. But you had these digital recorders, these digital cameras. You used them to record things way, way, way back in the day, 20 plus years ago. And that was pretty much the extent of what you could do on them. They weren't computers necessarily. They didn't have any applications on them. They didn't have all these things you could do on them. They didn't have games. They didn't have any of that. It was, you brought out a camera, you thought of something funny, or you thought of something witty, or some kind of cool event that you wanted to do, to upload on the internet. The internet was still fairly new. People were just figuring out that you could start doing, you could start uploading your life on YouTube and other websites. And obviously, the more people that found out, the more traction you'd gain. But those first 3-4 years of YouTube, 5 years of YouTube, I want to say all the way up to 2012 or 2013 YouTube, were really the golden years. I want to say up to 2013 or something like that. As smartphones, as smartphones started coming out, was when we got this shift from, having a life and making a funny video, or making a video there, like a funny video, or a video about your life, or just something interesting in general. You would make a video once in a while and upload it to YouTube, or upload it to social media, maybe Facebook or something. Excuse me. And then you go about your day. You didn't give it a second thought. You go about your day, you'd hang out with your friends, you'd do what you wanted to do, you'd go get ice cream, or go play outside. Back in my day, I can't believe I'm saying that, because I feel like when I'm talking about my parents. But, back in my day, because it was really back in my day at this point, because I'm 32 years old, back in my day, there was no online. There really was no online. I mean, you had Xbox, but back when I was, there was PS2, there was Nintendo, there was Game Boy. I mean, that's how far back I'm talking about. We didn't have the social media like we do now. You had YouTube. Yes, you did. I had YouTube when I was around 12 years old, YouTube came out. So yes, I had YouTube, but before then I had, PS2. I had the PlayStation, all the games. I had the portable handhelds, things like that. But when Snapchat first came out, I've noticed the shift from people, using these social media sites every once in a while to upload something or to post something and then go hanging out with their friends in real life afterwards, versus now, and again, it was a gradual process, but, every year that passed by, I just remember it, people were slowly starting to walk around, almost every single one of them through the years, well, until it got to that point. But people were slowly but surely starting to walk around with a portable computer, aka a smartphone, right? And in 2007, I realized it came out in 2007, but people really didn't start adapting to this technology. I want to say till like 2012, 2013. Everybody, most people back when I was in high school had smartphones. By 2011, late 2011, early 2012, a lot of people were walking around with them. A lot of people. The iPhone 4 just came out. People had, iPhone 3 too, but the iPhone 4 just came out in 11. And then, the iPhone 5 came out after I graduated high school, But before then, people were really starting to walk around with them. And yes, they had some applications, like they had Snapchat, they had Facebook, they had small, minute things, okay? They had Instagram, but, mostly a lot of people used Tumblr back then. Tumblr was the big thing. Before Instagram, before TikTok, before all these applications, they used Tumblr, they used Facebook, Vine was a really big thing. Vine on smartphone was a really big thing. Just like through the years, the apps just started getting way too complex, way too complicated. I mean, the apps just started becoming designed to bombard you with as much information as possible. So it's just like every single short, every single reel you take in, it's just dopamine hit. And you're constantly looking at these reels that have like a million different things going on. They're only like 15 to 20 seconds long. And before you even practically process the reel that you just got done watching, your brain is still processing it. And then, another one. It automatically scrolls to the next one. Then you see another one. And then you see another one. Then you see another one. Then you see another one. And then you see another one. And you see another one. And your brain is just so occupied. It's keeping your brain so occupied with BS. This TikTok, this Instagram, all these reels and these shorts and things. Your brain doesn't even have time to process the very first one you just watch, because there's so many things going on in each short. Your brain is just stuck. It's like, well, what's happening? You're trying to process every single scene that happened in the very first short you just watched. As soon as you started, as soon as you got on TikTok or you got on Instagram, you can't even process the shorts because there's so many things going on with them. And because of the fact that it automatically scrolls to the next video once it's done, a lot of these apps. So your brain is just like, wait a minute, what the hell happened? I just watched this, I don't know what I just watched, my brain's trying to process it, and then, look, another reel, and then another reel, another reel, another reel. And it is so dangerous because, look, yes, I'm guilty of it as well as everybody else. We all waste time, right? We all love to waste time every once in a while, right? We all love to kick back, chill out, relax. But, I mean, when you scroll on these apps, you are literally scrolling your life away. Like, it is more addicting. And look, I was a video game addict, okay? I was a video game addict from, as far as I can remember, like 4 or 5, 6 years old, when my dad first introduced me to the regular Nintendo, the original 1984 Nintendo. Okay? I was a complete fucking addict. I had every single game system you could possibly imagine. GameCube, Nintendo, N64, PS2, PS1, PS3, PS4, till PS5. I had 360, Xbox, like, I've had it all. I've played them all. And I'm telling you right now that this social media, these reels that are coming out, these applications, you know, with TikTok being one of the latest ones, the latest craze that is literally probably the worst out of them all, because it doesn't have anything hardly, excuse me, it doesn't have anything hardly that's like, you know, informative or about any kind of education or like helping you in any way. It's so toxic. There's just people. There's just, on TikTok, especially Instagram, it's just ass, tits, boobs, stupid video after stupid video after, oh, look at this rich guy living his life. Look at this rich guy. Look at Andrew Tate living his life. Look at Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate living his life in this Instagram reel. Oh, look, you got, it's like every other, and then it's like, this is how Instagram and TikTok goes. Especially, go to Instagram. First is how Instagram goes. All right, so it's just like, it's real of, you know, a rich guy like Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate or something like that. Or, you know, a reel of some influencer, all right? Some rich influencer. And you're like, you're like, it's a reel of like their rich life or whatever. And then you get another reel, and then it's like another reel of a rich person, and another reel of a rich person, right? And then you get a reel of an ass of a, you know, a pretty woman with big ass and big tits or whatever. Then you get another pretty woman with big ass and big tits, and then another one. And then you get some other stupid shit like Island Boys or someone similar to the Island Boys doing some stupid shit. And then you get another video of somebody doing something stupid, and another video of somebody doing stupid. You're like, oh, look at this. Oh, this person's doing this, or look at what this person has. He has a yacht, he has a boat, this and that. This is why, the main reason why it's dangerous, okay? And it's not to say that you can't be distracted with, you know, you can't play video games. Of course, I was an addict, all right? I'm admitting that. I was addicted. But it's so distracting because it distracts. You are so busy watching somebody else's life, watching what they're doing, watching them make money, watching them do these outlandish and these crazy things, that you end up scrolling. I've done it. I've ended up scrolling 3, 4, 5, 6 hours after getting up, after opening up my eyes in bed. Hours scrolling, watching other people live their lives before I even started mine. Before I even started my morning. Okay? You know, and again, like, this is why it's so dangerous, because it's a time waster. You're distracted from your goals. You're distracted from your hobbies that you normally like to do. It drains all your ambition, because you just got all that dopamine and all that serotonin flooded to your brain from watching these, you know, and you didn't accomplish a goddamn thing. And not only does it drain your ambition, not only does it drain all your serotonin, it drains your dopamine, but you're not making any kind of friends in the process. You're not talking to anybody. You know, you're watching these reels, and it's like your brain interprets that. Your brain interprets it like, okay, like, these are my friends. Like, you're like, your brain is imagining yourself in this scenario. It's imagining yourself like talking to these people. It's imagining yourself, you know, being with these people in that setting. But these aren't your friends. These are random people on the internet. Random people on the internet that you don't know, that don't know you, and you're getting so caught up and distracted in what they're doing with their lives and what kind of things they have and how much money they have and look how great their life is, that you're not even living your own. You're not even living your own. And not only that, with apps like, you know, Facebook, with Snapchat, things and that, it has made people even lazier. Dare I say completely lazy. Dare I say completely lazy. You know, it has made people completely 100% uninterested in making friends in real life, uninterested in talking to people face to face, uninterested in getting to know people. All right? And don't even get me on started on the dating, okay? The dating scene, explode, dead. A nuke was dropped on the dating scene as soon as all these social media apps came out. How are you supposed to trust anybody anymore? How are you supposed to be with somebody? I see couples around, you know, they're not as many as they used to be because dating is just frankly it's just fucking dead. It's in the shitter. It's over with. Dating's over with. But I see so many couples around, you know, for the people that still go to the mall, but mostly like stores or in the gym, or, you know, I'll see them in, you know, like food places, restaurants. Like, even the people that are couples, it's like they're not even doing anything. They're not even talking to each other. They're not even getting to try to know each other further. It's just like friends too. And it's like they're all sitting around in a circle. You're like, what? Like, what do they do? Like, they text each other and they're just like, oh, I want to hang out. Yeah, let's hang out. Okay, that's fine. Let's hang out. They all get together and they're all just on their phones, scrolling through Instagram and scrolling through TikTok and sharing TikToks and Instagrams. It's like, what's the point? If you were going to do that in the first place, you could have just all stayed home and sent it to each other via text message and then sent laughing emojis. What's the point? What's the point? What's the point of all getting together? What's the point of having a relationship? You know, living with each other or going to see your boyfriend or girlfriend if you're just going to be on the goddamn phone looking at, God, fucking hate it, TikTok, or you're going to be looking at Instagram reels of tits and ass while you're with your girlfriend, and your girlfriend's going to be looking at fucking Instagram reels of, you know, some half-naked guy with his shirt off or something like that, and you're all just salivating over some person that doesn't even know you and you don't know them while you're with your significant other. I mean, that's how fucked up dating is. You're on each other. You're both on your phones. Boyfriend's looking at tits and ass because every fucking other reel on Instagram is either a girl with nice tits or nice ass or half naked or some combination of both. Then your girlfriend's looking at, you know, men with their shirt off or something like that, even if they're doing it unintentionally, because it's all over Instagram and it's all over TikTok. You know, men with their shirt off and men in, you know, swim shorts or some combination of the two. And it's just like you're completely ignoring each other while you're looking at all these reels on Instagram, while you're looking at all these shorts on TikTok or YouTube. And you wonder why you're both depressed. You wonder why the relationship's falling apart. You know, same with the friends. You wonder why you can't make any friends. You wonder why your friends, you know, are completely boring and they don't interest you. They don't interest you. You don't want to talk to them. It's because they're doing the same fucking thing. They're doing the same fucking thing with these reels and in these videos and all this shit that's distracting each other from actually building meaningful relationships. Have I said everything yet? I think I have for the most part. Thank you for watching the video, guys. Hope you like this completely raw rant that I did. I had a lot to say in this. Social media is here to stay, obviously. It's not going anywhere, you know. If it were this, you know, social media would have been banned a long time ago, but social media is not going anywhere. There are going to be more apps like TikTok. There are going to be more apps like Instagram. There are going to be more apps like Vine like we had in the past. So I guess my conclusion is, what do we do about all this? All right. Well, what you can do is you can set, you know, a timer on your phone. You can set a limit to how many apps you can use each and every single day. You can, you know, do an oopsie and forget your phone at home and go out with your significant other. You can go out with your friends and have a nice time, so you're not distracted by these reels, or you're not distracted by these TikTok shorts or these YouTube shorts, especially if you have an addiction to social media. You know, you can work on communicating face-to-face, reading each other's body language, having a mutual understanding of each other's, you know, values and goals, and build a stronger connection through face-to-face interaction. All right? Because these reels, these TikToks, these shorts, these videos that you guys watching you're going to waste your entire life away watching all these videos, all these shorts of yet another naked girl, of yet another rich person, of yet another dumbass person doing more dumbass shit. All right? And there's going to be a time where you look back and you're like, God, I watched all these stupid videos and I didn't get a goddamn thing out of it. Nothing. And then the worst part is I don't have any friends. You know, I never built any meaningful relationships or connections. Everything just feels like a big fucking waste, all right? And maybe that's being a little dramatic, but it's true, guys. I regret all the time I've spent on social media, all the time scrolling all the videos I watch. Because what was the point of it? I didn't learn anything. I didn't learn anything from it. Nothing came of it except just depression. So, again, I was going to end this video before, but I had more to say. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do you guys agree with this video? Disagree with this video? And as always, guys, talk to you in the next one. Take care.